You are now listening to a presentation by Gustav, Frederikke, Anna, and Ruben, and this presentation is going to be about the NAACP and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born in 1929. His family were Christians, and Luther King Jr. therefore took his name after Martin Luther, but when he was born, his name was first Michael. Luther King Jr. began fighting for the black civil rights as he grew up and got fed up with segregation. In 1957, Martin Luther King Jr. and 3 other men formed the organization called Southern Christian Leadership Conference, also called SCLC, to organize the power of the black churches and to make non-violent protest for the civil rights reform. The SCLC kept fighting for the black civil rights with Martin Luther King Jr. in front. Other than fighting for the black civil rights in America, Luther King Jr. also held a speech against the war in Vietnam in 1967. Sadly, Martin Luther King Jr. got killed in April 1968 by a gunshot to the chest. The philosophy of non-violence. The non-violence in philosophy of being harmless is the philosophy of being harmless and unable to harm either the person itself or the other people. The philosophy of non-violence has been connected to many great people such as Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And it is believed that Mahatma Gandhi was the father of this non-violence philosophy, as he was the first recorded person to lead a movement with the belief of non-violence. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was greatly influenced by Gandhi, and as 2 of his advisors, Bayard Rustin and Harris Wofford, both had studied the teachings of Gandhi. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also wanted to take a trip to India because he was inspired by what Gandhi had achieved with his movement of non-violence. This trip made him understand the meaning of non-violence better and made a large impact on his way of using the non-violence philosophy.
Martin Luther King is famous for a lot of different speeches. I Have a Dream from 1963 is one of the most famous speeches of all time. It is known all around the world, and the speech is considered one of the best speeches of all time. The key message in the speech is that all people are created equal and should therefore have the same civil rights. At the time, the difference between the races was worse than ever, and that was what Martin Luther King fought against. When speaking, Dr. King was always very passionate, believed that he could make a difference, and he did. Another speech by Martin Luther King is Don't Sleep Through the Revolution. This speech isn't quite as famous as I Have a Dream, but it is still well known to many people, especially in America. In the speech, Dr. King encouraged people to free their mind, to stand up for themselves, and fight for what they believe. He says that every single individual can make a difference, can help make a difference. If only everyone would act like the individuals that they are, instead of relying on someone else, almost everything could be accomplished. That's what Dr. King wanted to say with that speech.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
And the NAACP was one of the earliest movements among social rights activist groups and organizations, and it was an activist group formed to raise awareness of racial equality in the American society. It was formed and founded in Baltimore, Maryland by the man on the picture, W.E.B. Du Bois, and other black and white intellectuals. And as told, they wanted to raise awareness about how the black people in the United States should have more rights and be equal to the white American population. And NAACP stands for National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the biggest victory that this organization had was maybe in 1954, when they made a major difference in American society by making racial segregation in the schools illegal in the Constitution. And this was done by sitting in Supreme Court through a high period, but in the end they won, and it was made illegal to racially segregate kids in schools in the United States.